Hi everyone, and welcome back to Queen G's Recipes. And today we are going to be making beef turnovers. They are so wonderful, so easy to make, and they are just perfect for any occasion, potlucks, little parties, appetizers. You know, anytime you want something like this, it will be your go-to recipe because they are delicious. Now, the ingredients we'll be needing here for our filling, I'm going to show you the filling ingredients, and then I will show you the ingredients for the dough when we get to that time. So right now for the filling, we are going to need 1 pound of ground beef, preferably lean ground beef. If you are using a regular ground beef, just make sure that you discard any fat that will be left when we saute our meat and things that we have here. And we will also need 1 medium onion finely chopped. I've also added in a couple cloves of garlic. Now, if you don't like garlic, you can omit it and not add it in. That's totally okay. In here with our spices, we have paprika, salt, oregano, black pepper, and some dried parsley. And I believe I mentioned salt. Definitely need some of that. Here we just have some tomato paste, and we will need some sour cream, and that's about it. You also want to have your stovetop on medium heat, and let's move on to making our filling. Okay, so what I have here is a frying pan with high sides, and I have added 2 tablespoons of olive oil. You don't want to add any more than that. And now what we're going to do is once our pan is preheated, which mine is already, we will add in our beef, and we are going to break it down. And we are going to allow our ground beef to cook. So once our meat is brown, I will show you the next step. Okay, so this looks good. Our ground beef is cooked, and I already discarded any excess fat. So you just want to keep 1 to 2 tablespoons, and you don't want too much moisture inside of your turnovers or they will be soft. So now what we're going to do is add in our tomato paste and mix that in. Once your tomato paste is thoroughly mixed into your beef, I mean, just roughly mix it all up together here. As long as it's not all in one little clump, then you are good. And now we are going to add in our garlic and onions. And we are also going to add in our spices. And we'll give this a good mix, probably for another 2 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been about 4 minutes on medium heat, and now you just want to give the onions and garlic a chance to soften up. And now this is perfect. I have turned off my stove. Now I'm going to add in my sour cream, give it a good mix, remove it off of my stovetop, and allow it to cool while we work on our dough. Okay, so now for our dough, we are going to need some softened cream cheese at room temperature. You can most definitely substitute this for some sour cream, and it will be wonderful because I have made it that way many times. And if you're going to use cream cheese, just make sure that it is at room temperature. Here we have some all-purpose flour, some sugar and some salt, an egg yolk, and some softened butter at room temperature. You can always substitute the butter for some lard, like for some Crisco, for example. That's the kind of lard we sell here in Canada. So you can use either or, but today I will be using softened unsalted butter. So that's about it. Let's move on to making our dough while our filling is cooling off. Okay, so into our mixing bowl here with our paddle attachment, we are going to add in our softened cream cheese and our softened butter at room temperature, and we are going to cream these two together. Okay, so our mixture here is nice and smooth, and now we are ready to add in our egg yolk and give our ingredients here a good mix. And then we will be ready to add in our dry ingredients, which is our flour, salt, and sugar. And we will mix until we have created a nice, beautiful, soft dough. I'll let you know what it looks like when we get there. Okay, so our dough looks wonderful, and now it didn't take long at all after adding in my flour, probably about a minute or so for this to come together. If you can see, the dough is nice, soft, and pliable, and we are ready to use it. It doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is remove the dough here from my bowl, and we are going to form it into a disc on the counter with just a little bit of flour, and I will show you the next step. Okay, so now we are ready to roll out our dough. So I'm just going to place a sprinkle here of some flour, and we are going to roll out our dough here. Okay, so you want to roll it out about a 1/4 inch thickness, and once you are done making all your circles here, you can re-roll the dough. Just use minimal flour, so very important. And now what I'm using here is a little, actually not very little, it's a kind of like a large cookie cutter, and it's about 5 inches round. So you will need something around this size to have your turnovers at the right size. So I'm just going to go around and make circles here. Okay. And then with a small offset spatula, I will carefully remove them here, and I will show you the next step. Okay, so now I have my little dough circles here. Okay, now I have made 16 out of that dough, and now we have our filling here that has been cooling and it's at room temperature. You want to make sure that before you start on your dough, your filling is at room temperature. So that's very important. And now what we're going to do is take one, and we are just going to roll it out just a little. Okay. And we are going to place about a tablespoon of the filling. Now you don't want to put too much because your dough will start to open in the oven. So that's important. And now what you're going to do is fold it over. Okay, like this, and just close the edges. Okay, and you want to have a baking sheet that has been lined with some parchment paper and ready to go. And then I am going to take a fork, and I'm just going to imprint it here around. Okay, so just take your fork and kind of just tighten the edges here. And then we will place this on our baking sheet here. And then we will use an egg wash. And we will place the egg wash on top of each of our turnovers. And then we will be ready to place them in our preheated oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 17 minutes, or when you notice that they are a nice golden brown. So I'm going to continue on making my turnovers, and then I will meet you right back here as soon as they are baked. Okay, so my beef turnovers baked at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for exactly 16 minutes. As you can see, they are perfect. They are gorgeous golden brown, and I have allowed them to sit here for about 15 minutes. So we are definitely ready to try one. These beef turnovers are perfection. The filling is just wonderful, and it isn't dry. It is just perfection. You really need to give these a try. So easy to put together, and I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. So if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a nice big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you will be notified every time I upload a new and delicious recipe. Share the recipe with your family and friends, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. The links will be in the description box below, along with the recipe. And I'll see you on my next video. Take care. Bye, everyone.